Ulu coming to you with another commentary. Something you have to realize about this gender war that we're in is that it's an information war as well. It's not just against the other modern Western gender who has since decided to be degenerate, self-destructing, and also um, encouraging guys to be the very same way by their choice of men, right? Now, this is a small platform, but I hope this information, my intentions with this is that I hope this information gets out. I hope this information reaches the people that it needs to reach. Because if it does reach the people it needs to reach, that means I did what I needed to do. You know, as a Muslim, we're supposed to, like, you know, I've already I've already done the part of changing the I guess you can say trying to change the, because they say the, may Lado alayhi salatu salam said, if you see injustice, try to change it with your your hands, and if you can't change it with your hands, then change it with your voice, and if you can't change it with your voice, then change it with your heart, or with prayer. And that's one of the lowest, that's like one of the lowest forms of doing so. um Now the thing is that um the action part, because there's something known in Chinese philosophy, known as Wu Wei, and what Wu Wei stands for is the art of actually like doing nothing, but the act of non-action, but you're actually doing an action. If that's like kind of, I guess, it may kind of go over people's heads, but I'll give you an example of Wu Wei. Wu Wei is like what the state that Neo was in the Matrix when he found out, when he was all the way tapped in with his inner his inner eye, when he was tapped in. I don't know if you saw the first movie. The first movie, he got shot up, but then basically he raised up, stopped the bullets, was beating the crap out of Mr. Smith's, using like just one hand, even made a Mr. Smith explode by jumping into him, by going into his body and just basically breaking him apart. um so with that being said, but he didn't try to do it. What I mean? What I mean by try to do it is he didn't. It was effortless for him to do it. Versus when he tried to dodge the bullets before, it wasn't effortless because he got like one bullet skimmed his shoulder because he wasn't he was dodging them. Don't get me wrong, he was moving fast dodging them, but the thing is that the, it took effort. But then when he let it go, everything flew and went smoothly. And I equate that to what I'm doing in the action state. The action state is, I swear to Allah, I'll never marry a Western woman. I'll never bring a Western woman to Africa. I don't care what color she is, whatever the case may be. She'll never meet my tribe, meet my family, or anything like that. And that's just the bottom line. You know what I mean? That's the action that I have taken. And no disrespect, even if she's Muslim, I'm still not having it. Because I've seen, like, and I'm not trying to make any slander, but I've seen how Western Muslim women who are from non-Muslim Western countries take sway and take hold and bring new ideas to Muslim women who are from those countries that are Muslim. So That's the action part, is leaving them the hell alone. The voice part is me using this channel to voice my thing. And then the other heart part is trying to protect myself from their energy. You know what I mean? And trying to keep myself away from them, because when you even like just listen to them talk, they're not talking about anything. They're only talking about using, abusing, and most of the time destroying. But to make a long story short, there was a woman by the name of Olivia. And Olivia, she was on Kevin Samuels, and I think she's of Latin origin, Latin cultural background, and she actually was looking for his advice. She took his advice, and it got her married. Now, the thing is about her marriage, though, it has, of course, made the modern Western woman hate her. It has made the modern Western woman, of course, call her a pick me. It has made her public enemy number one. It has made her, right? Because of the simple fact that she decided that she wanted something different than what is going on out here, I'm actually starting to believe, unfortunately, I'm actually really starting to believe this, that women, modern Western women, they don't want husbands, and they don't want, and I'm also believing that they don't even know how to love in a genuine way. They don't even like know how to be moms nor wives, and this goes across the spectrum. This goes with Belejo women, Denejo women, Latin women, because most of them are boss chicks now, or quote unquote alpha females. There was actually one idiot female who left a comment for something I said about a pick me, and she called herself an alpha sigma female. I live the African sigma lifestyle, and the main point of being a sigma is not even being in the hierarchy or caring about being in the hierarchy. So you see, women just talk when they don't even need to be talking, right? But back to Ali, I want to get into her. She made a series of TikTok videos, and those TikTok videos stirred up a lot of controversy and things like that for her points. And because of those points, it has led to, I guess you can say, like, maybe, I won't call it fame, but I will call it like it's led to her actually be whatchamacallit, a I guess you can say somewhat of a sensation on the social media circuit. But let's watch her with a masculine feminist, and see the differences that you see. A lot of these feminists are manly sounding too, okay? I keep on saying it, but let's continue.
I struggled to get hard when I was in my 20s for psychological reasons. It was honestly ruining my life. The worst bit was when I started avoiding relationships.
The Sozcast, we have a very controversial, spicy episode for all you people out there in YouTube land, on the internet. Welcome to the Sozcast on Valuetainment, the #1 channel in the world for entrepreneurs. You guys know that? Number one. You put in entrepreneur, boom, there's Valuetainment. Here we go, in the house. So let me frame this episode. The episode is going to be, it's all about women and the women's role in work and in relationship. And ooh-wee, somebody on this panel set the internet and the Reddit and the Twitter ablaze on something they had to say. So before we get into that, let's meet our panel. So the role of a housewife, the role of a woman, the role of an independent woman, these are all conversations that we're going to be having today. Before I do that, let me give a quick shout out to this gentleman about more traditional views on marriage, how she is sort of subservient to her husband. And since Monday, did I use that word correctly?
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm subservient. I would say that he does so much for me that it's...
So this is Ali Via, you know, this is Ali Via talking, the one who set the TikTok ablaze.
Natural for me to support his endeavors in life, because if he wins, I win.
Boom.
And that's exactly right. You know, she just hit it off right in from the beginning because, like, you know, just looking at it from an African Islamic context, you know, our wives are, you know, we're the breadwinner for our wives. So, you know, if we're more successful and we're more like and are able to get more established, then obviously she's going to benefit. Like, if she's your women folk, it would make no sense for you to just have her around while you are successful doing your thing, and then she doesn't get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. You know, I mean, this is who you decided to take as your wife. So she's absolutely right.
I like that. We're going to get into that exact topic right there. So since the video, which we're going to play in a second, which was on Monday, I believe, because we met on Saturday, so this is a day or so later, she's been quoted, reposted, Huffington Post, World Star Hip Hop, Gavin McGinnis, DL Hughley reposted you. But that was thanks to our friend Pearl over here, who basically you discuss what it is to be a modern woman. You take pride in red pilling women, correct? And you're very big on YouTube, very big on TikTok.
It's not a coincidence that she has red hair and she has a sadistic, vindictive smile. And I'm pretty sure that if she has a man, he plays the subservient role. But if she's single, she probably has many dogs and cats.
So before we play this video, Pearl, set this up, and then we'll lead to Ali.
Well, we were in an Uber. I think we were going to the conference maybe. And I just was thinking that a lot of girls, I think, are very confused about like dating advice and how to get to be in Allie's position. And like, because people will see she's got a big ring, you know, she gets to stay home.
That's
and
blinging right
she's
there.
really into her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of women want to be in that position. And so I was thinking,
they don't want to be in that position. And if they do want to be in that position, it's often too late. They've often been smashed and dashed, blasted and past it, you know. No, I guess you can say they've been blasted out. They done passed it out. And guys would be asses if they go that route. You know what I mean? So it's not that they want to be like wives, it's that they're looking for a retirement fund. So this is what I disagree with her about.
this would be a good video if I start it with the ring and I say, show them the ring, so they see what they want. And so they're going to keep watching. And then, you know, she gives them the answers in the video.
Got it. So you ready to play this video? So let me just set the tone on this. So essentially, the video that set the internet ablaze.
Yes.
How has your life changed since these viral videos? Like, what kind of response you're getting to this? Because I think your whole idea is here: find a high value man, be submissive, help him, and then create the happy life, happy marriage you want. Do I got that correct?
I would say that's correct. I just want women to be able to marry the men that they want and then to be able to stay married, because I think that's the hardest part, is maintaining attraction. But if you can get the guy of your dreams, then you should be fine. But I don't think my life has changed much other than my message is out there. I knew it would get out there.
The thing is that it may be too late though, Ali. That's the thing. It may be too late because guys and you know, this is the thing with me. If like a woman has this kind of energy with this, like, and having a civil conversation like this, then I will respond with civil, like being civil. But if you're gonna say things like alpha sigma female, that you can't handle a masculine female, then you're gonna see a level of savage that you've never seen before. Because of the simple fact that, you know, in Islam, you know, usually we respond, if arrogance is and condescending things are given to us, we give it back so they can taste how it feels. You know what I mean? That's what we do now. But I think it's too late though, because of the simple fact that guys are getting hit to like, maybe, okay, what is this, what kind of baggage is she bringing, you know what I mean? And that's even a guy with six figures and stuff like that. Guys are just getting hip to the game, so I don't know if that's going to work
in some way, shape, or form. I just didn't think it was going to be in the back of an Uber with one of my friends who's a content creator, and I didn't think that it'd be so awesome to roast women on the.
My apologies for her friend. Like, I thought her friend, when she said red pill, I thought I thought it was like opposite of like good. I didn't mean to like assume her friend was on the side of bad, because when you hear red pill, that means, like, for us guys, that means like, hey, we're activated, right?
Regular. It's been a blast.
Gotcha. So Koko, you're sitting back, you're watching all this.
I'm watching.
How are you processing all this? What are your thoughts on her perspective?
Well,
You see it already. You see how like masculine she is. You hear how, like, you hear it in her voice, how like basically disappointed she is. You hear it.
people can do whatever they want, obviously. Her marriage is her thing, and if that works for her, that's totally fine. I think that, if something happens, let's say, actually, I need to understand first, what does he do for work, and did you do something for work before?
That's none of your business, though. Like, that's like, woman, that's none of your business. I would tell her that. And by the way, that's one of the worst ways to insult a woman for some reason. They don't like it when you call them a woman. I learned that firsthand. But they don't like it. They find it very disrespectful when you call them a woman. But I do it all the time. I'm like, man, woman, shut your ass up. I'm dead serious. Listen, bro, I have no filters when it comes to, you can't have any filters when it comes to them. You really can't. But let's continue. I would have been like, woman, that ain't your business.
So I met him when I was in the military, worked underneath him as a medic, so a medical screener. He is a medical provider within the military. He's a physician's assistant. I had a job, but then we ended up having a conversation. I was like, why am I working? And he was like, okay, facts. And that was pretty much the end of it. And now I make content on YouTube, so I get to do a job that I enjoy.
Okay. So, if that works for them, that's totally fine. I just see a lot when a woman completely abandons her life. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that's you, but I'm saying in general, when a woman completely abandons her life and she is just a wife, or just, like, you don't have anything yours going for you. And how do you know, okay, you are married, but, like, how do you know that this is going to be forever? Because
Remember I told you this. Single women keep women single. Okay? Now, usually, like, and most of the women I know who are married to men, like, usually, like, they have something else going on, even if it's within their house. Say they're making clothes, or they're braiding hair, or they're doing something like that that's going to produce income. So with that being said, her argument holds no weight. You know what I mean? It really doesn't.
Marriages do fall apart. I'm not saying yours will, but I had a...
She is saying it. She's saying it. Like, indirectly, she's saying it,
situation in my life when I was just somebody's girlfriend, and I was so happy at the a few months in.
You see how she was like, you see how she basically, she went through brain freeze saying that, because, like, what happened is she recalled how Chad was, like, just digging her out, you know what I mean? And she was happy with that, she was happy that Chad was actually digging her out. But now, I don't see a ring on her finger, and so she's upset.
But then later, I just realized, for me, that's not enough. And I want people to remember me for me, and not for being somebody's plus one.
So now, you understand what modern women can't do. Modern women can't uh play the which one call it. Modern women can't play the bleachers. Basically, they always have to be a star player, even if the husband is the star player. Like for example, um, you know, one woman who plays the bleachers pretty good is Idris Elba's wife. No, not much is known about her, but she is, she plays the bleachers to him, and he leads. She gets to go to the war shows and stuff like that. When he talks, she lets him talk and things like that. But this woman, of course, again, it comes down to validation, and it comes down to just attention, right?
So
You want to respond to that?
do you think that you would have felt better about that situation had you been that man's wife instead of the girlfriend?
No, maybe it's just the person, but
It was Chad, just like keep that in mind. It was Chad.
me personally, like I left my hometown when I was 22. I came to the States alone. And if I wanted a life where I'm just going to be somebody's wife, and there's a lot of women who are totally fine with that. And I have a lot of friends who are just housewives, and that is a really tough job. And raising kids is really difficult. And that being like you be with them all the time, it's not easy. But for me, I just wanted something more. And I just at the time, there wasn't like YouTube. There wasn't like TikTok and stuff when I was in that relationship, but it was not enough for me.
Well, why don't we do this? So the audience is crystal clear on what you guys stand for, essentially, and we'll have a deeper conversation. Go down the line here. Start with you, Koko. You talk about raising the women's standards. What's your goal as a woman? Where do you think the role of a woman should be? And then we'll go down the line here to Ali and Pro.
Well, women have a lot of roles. You can't just say a woman has one role and she should just like live in that role. My whole thing about raising your standards is like, don't just marry the first guy you kind of like because you think that your clock is ticking, or because you think that you are not whole because you don't have that missing piece or something.
So, I hate to say it, but what she is in essence saying is that she's encouraging these women to like go ahead and ride the CC. And the reason why I'm gonna tell you why she's encouraging that is for the simple fact that, a woman who wants marriage, right, and who is sincere about wanting marriage, they usually come from a good home, and they usually have family that's gonna vet the person that they're gonna meet with or marry. Like, because, for example, there was a woman who got married to a guy within 3 weeks. And mind you, they've been married for like 10 years now. So, it's not, her argument really doesn't hold any weight. That's all I'm going to say.
Like, why do women think that the highlight of their existence if they're somebody's wife? I don't think that's true. Some people decide not to get married and they're happily ever after, but you just don't have the piece of paper. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay, I got it. Ali, go ahead.
I'm just trying to address a lot of fear because I hear that argument a lot. Well, if you're just a wife, you're going to lose yourself. But if we keep feeding women this narrative, like they're going to eat it up and they're going to buy it. But if you have a man who can protect, provide, and cherish you, it's like it's a no-brainer. Of course, you're going to go ahead and pursue something like that. But women are always thinking, oh, I lose something in a marriage. I lose something in a marriage. I'm vulnerable. I don't think so. I think men take the bigger risk.
I'm so fat. Brendan, you're not fat. It's the shirt. Look at Nate. His true classic is
Lose something in a marriage. I'm vulnerable. I don't think so. I think men take the bigger risk in assuming all of the responsibility for finances within a marriage.
Yeah, that's true. Because at the end of the day, if the marriage doesn't work out, guess what? The woman's winning. She's winning in every way possible. Unless you have a good ass lawyer and you just basically everything goes in your favor on some Johnny Depp, Amber Heard type thing, unless you have that kind of situation, then that's how it usually goes, bro. Well, let's continue.
you look at the divorce statistics, it's pretty cut and dry. So like sometimes I hear, you know, what happens if your husband leaves you for someone younger? I actually don't worry about that because I know how the family courts are. It's more so the fact that like my women's satisfaction in marriage, we have a lot more autonomy over that than we think because we end up leaving most of the time.
I think 80% of the time women are the ones causing a divorce.
It's 90% if you're college educated.
Wow.
Well, we know why. I mean, when they get and this is just a disclaimer. I have nothing against like women getting degrees and stuff like that. I have nothing against that. But what happens is when a woman gets a degree, most of the time she feels that like, hey, you know, I've reached it. You know, I'm on a different stratosphere now. And what happens is that degree basically thinks that determines what she's gonna do. Like, you know, for example, I know this one chick. Yeah, I mean, I see the writing on the wall all the time. And you know, the thing is, I never, you know, I never basically give her access to me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to give her access to me. I refuse to give her access to me. But I'll give you some things that actually occurred, you know, with her. You know, the thing is, she has a degree, right? When I got my degree, I made sure that I was going to be able to use it on something. That I was going to use it on like something that was going to enhance or add an asset to my other skills that I already have. You know what I mean? That's what I did. She got a degree. She got one in, I think it's like language or something, language arts. I don't remember. But she's not using it. She works as a flight attendant. You know what I mean? Like, there was a time where she was like, you know, I'm not going to put her out there, but she was door dashing. You know what I mean? Well, by the time these women get these degrees, that really, I don't know, that don't serve them. And then on top of that, they end up in hella debt. And that's when Ascent comes in to help them pay for the debt. You know what I mean? But let's continue.
Okay. So, Pearl, weigh in on this. Go ahead, because you've been kind of quiet. You've been waiting but what you do is you red pill women. So, but are you married or no?
No, I'm not married.
Okay. Are you in a serious relationship right now or no?
I'm not.
You're not. Okay. So we have a single woman, we have a married woman, and a woman in a relationship. But now,
and I know her guy is going through hell, and her guy is probably a simp old feminist. You know what I mean? I'm dead serious, but let's continue.
Married. We couldn't ask for a better panel, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to our booker here. Go ahead.
Or the guy she's in a relationship with is a Chad that's just digging her out. You know, that could be the case too. It's just a Chad who's just, you know, having his way. But let's go ahead and continue on.
Pro.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, just basically what you stand for.
What I stand. Well, I grew up in a more like traditional family, and I really appreciated it. That like my goal is to get married, and I think my life like it wouldn't be complete if I didn't have a husband and family. Like that's how I feel about it.
So you're saying your goal is to get married?
So unfortunately, you know, this woman would be considered a pick-me. You know, to like 97% of the Western women, she would be considered a pick-me, right? But really, she's just kind of wanting to get into natural law.
Yes.
Okay. That's your goal?
Yeah, I mean, I have other goals too. Like,
all right. What are your other goals?
My other goals, I want to hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, so you guys should help me out with that.
Help her out. Just Pearl, right?
Just pearly things.
Just pearly things. Let's get that going. All right. So number 1 on your list is marriage. Number 2 is that a career?
Yeah, YouTube.
Okay,
yeah.
so the career is in a backseat to marriage.
Yeah.
Okay, and Allie, for you, was marriage number 1 on your list?
My dream in life was to be a housewife and to do some kind of work from home. So I would say like I made it.
You're living your best life.
Living my best life. All I'm missing is the babies. They're coming next.
Are they coming next?
Oh, yeah. We
Okay.
just bought a house, so we have to fill it with humans, you know?
You gotta fill that.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna spend life with someone, obviously, we're gonna make sure their life is comfortable. So a traditional guy, he's gonna, of course, like, do what he can to, like, provide. And I mean, like, let's be honest, if a guy has the house and stuff like that, it means, like, he has control and stuff like that. But if you, like, date one of these boss women and stuff like that, and you're under their roof, then good luck with that.
With humans.
Can I actually add something
Sure.
else too? My dad is like a top 1%. Like, he's very, very successful. And my mom was actually supposed to be a teacher, and she quit that to go work for my dad. And they ended up building like a multi-million-dollar business and having 10 kids.
And that's what that initially can be something that you can do. Like, for example, Nalado alayhi salatu salam, the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam, his first wife was a merchant, right? And so what he did is he worked for her, but in working for her, it increased the profits. It increased her profits, right? So, and they eventually married. So this is what I'm saying. It in a normal world, you would want to do something like that, I hate to say it, but, like, for example, like, I'm not saying this will happen, but, let's just say that, like, there was a guerrilla movement back home, and we had to fight off the Portuguese, and they're like, hey, man, you gotta come front line. Then my wife would have to be, like, my nurse, or she would have to be able to, like, smuggle guns to me so I can, like, do my thing. That's initially what you would want, what she just described.
And
10 kids?
Yeah, and 10 kids. So
Wow.
You're one of 10.
Yeah, I'm one of 10.
Wow. And what does your dad do?
So he owns a software company.
Got it.
And I just think that, in order to accomplish anything, there's always going to be risk. And I got to see the benefits of my mom taking that risk. Like, it might not have worked out. She had to move to him. She had to leave her school and quit her job. But
So your dad is a owner of a software company.
But she saw the vision. That's the thing. And you got to take calculated risk. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if they see the vision and they see the trajectory, I think the risk will be well taken. However, a modern Western woman, what she wants is she wants you to already be pulling up in that thing. And what I mean by that thing, that Wraith, Rolls Royce, or that Bentley, she doesn't want to go through the process of getting those things. It's not that you don't mind getting those things and stuff like that, but it's just that she minds how long it takes for those things.
Your mom was going to be a teacher, or she was a teacher, and she said, you know what, let me jump off the teaching trail. I'm going to go work for my boss, who also is my husband, and it worked out well.
yeah.
Okay. Now, Koko, what's your goal? Is your top goal to be a wife, to be
No,
married?
not at
What's
all.
your top goal?
My top goal is to create a company. I mean, my goal is to, I used to study journalism, so I love the media world, and I'm starting a podcast, so I want to.
So, again, I said at the beginning of this, the information war is very important, okay? And we can't let this bimbo by the name of Koko win the information war, because what's going to happen is it's not going to work. It's not going to work good for us, especially if her voice is global. You can already tell she's an unhappy woman. Look at her. You can already tell she's just like, it's just like a dark spirit with her. You can just tell.
Work in the media space, but I want this to be my thing, and I want this to be something that nobody can take away from me. So, like, if I'm somebody's wife, one day he can just be like, okay, well, what if he bankrupts or something? Then what? Your life is over if you don't have anything that you're doing on the side. But I also feel like you're not just a housewife because you are doing your content, correct?
But that pales in comparison to the work that I did before. Like, it's a night and day difference.
You said you were in the Army.
Yes, I was in the United States military.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of women, they'll talk about, like, working hard. I'm like, have you ever been to the woods for 30 days on end, like, no shower and not enough food? It's not fun. So I would...
Well, that's the thing about these women is they think they can go into the Army. There was this one woman in, I hate to say it, but some African women have bought the sauce. And there was this one chick I know, Ivorian chick, right? She joined the United States Army. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why not join the Ivorian Special Forces instead? We fell out and I had to get, I dismissed her. We fell out. I said, yeah, why are you joining? I mean, I just kept it all the way a buck. I said, why are you joining a terrorist organization? I just kept it all the way a buck. Why not be a patriot of your home? She got mad. She got really upset. Now that the Ukraine war is here, she's standing by to get deployed there. And she of course called me back crying, saying, yeah, you were right. I don't want to go. And I said, well, that's not my issue. I mean, since I do have a little, not that much sympathy for you, then, just, I don't know, maybe just injure yourself so you won't have to go. But I did kind of even become more petty. I said, yeah, be careful of the Chechens, man. They're whooping all types of ass over there, Just tell them salam alaikum and maybe they'll cut you some leniency. That's how petty I am, really. Because, for me, I'm always going to support, if I know it's a just cause and stuff like that, of course I'm going to support the Muslims, But my point is, these women, they think that, doing these things, G.I. Jane and stuff like that, is something that they should aspire to do. And it's like, bruh, do you know how difficult it is? For real.
Say, yes, I work and I do content creation, but I'm going to be real. If you're intelligent and you can figure out a business model and you can figure out what people want to hear, to an extent, I do like to provide value because I don't want to sell women a lie. If you can do that, I mean, work smarter, not harder. You can really reduce your work hours. So my husband does so much for me, and I don't want to act like that my channel would be possible if I did it myself. It's not true. I would refer to him as my primary financier for my channel. He makes
And that's exactly no problem. Listen, if I had, say if my wife wants a YouTube channel, right? If she's like, you know what, I want to start a YouTube channel on cooking. Then not only am I going to provide the cooking utensils and everything like that, I'm going to provide her with a studio so she can do it and do it on the highest level. Because, without giving away my playbook, I'm building my man cave right now for just content creating just by itself, the Fuba-sphere. I'm in the process of doing that right now myself. So, why wouldn't I want if I was married, why wouldn't I want my wife to not be able to have the same kind of thing, the same kind of experience? That would make no sense, right?
platform happen, and I'm proud of that.
But you still work though. You work for your content, so you're not just a housewife.
Koko, it's not a hard job.
But what's not a hard job?
Content creation. For me.
So you think it is?
Listen to her name. Listen to her laugh, bro. You can even tell, the Via sister, she's getting irritated with her condescending nature. This Koko character.
Hard job, is that what you're saying?
I think it is definitely.
Because this is your full-time gig.
Yeah.
You're a content creator full-time.
Yeah.
Your full-time job is being a housewife / content creator. But first job is being a housewife.
Yes.
Well, okay. And even if you're just if you say just a housewife, you're still creating culture. Like, you don't understand what goes into that. Like, my mom had traditions that we did every
I know what
single
goes
year.
into being a mom. Like, my mom is a great mom. She always worked, and she raised me and my brother like really well, I would say. And she always worked. But
And yeah, you didn't talk about the dad though. Let's see if she says. Let's see if there was a man in the picture.
she also had time to raise us.
I know, but why do we reduce it to like just a housewife?
No, I didn't say just.
You
a
said that
husband.
earlier.
Okay, maybe I don't remember.
You see how idiotic they be? They're so engrossed with proving a point that they don't even remember certain things that they say. Because they're so engrossed on being right, even when maybe a different perspective is correct. And I'm dead serious, bro. I noticed that about Western women. When you shut them up, they still have to add their 2 cents, even when it's not even correct. I'm like, bruh, just shut the hell up, please. Take your L, learn from it, and move on. But they don't know how.
Well, a lot of women do that. You know, just a housewife.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm not saying that I actually said that being a housewife is a difficult job and raising kids is a difficult job. I said that. So maybe I don't know what
But
you heard.
it's probably still something that like should be addressed, because women wouldn't feel like they were just a housewife if they married, the wholesome Chad that they wanted in the first place. And that's where, my channel comes in, because women get a lot of bad dating advice. And it's like dating advice that
Well, the thing is about Chad is like, Chad has many options. And that's the one thing I'm going to disagree with you, Ali. Like, Chad ain't wholesome. Chad is just running through women. You know what I mean? Like, as a matter of fact, the other day, Chad asked me, like, hey, it looked like you have a lot of women. You mind, like, which one call it? You mind, like, throwing me some my way? And I'm like, and I just, like, shrugged my shoulders, like, well, I don't know, bro. Like, just ask around. But yeah, like Chad usually doesn't want to commit. That's the thing. Chad won't commit. So maybe you may want to change the name from Wholesome Chad to like Wholesome Tom, because there is no Wholesome Chads,
teaches you how to date, but it doesn't teach you how to, hopefully get married and stay married. Like, that's it. Like, all they can do is get you a date. Well, not every guy that takes you out for a meal is looking to commit. And that's a big problem that I see. I think millennial and Gen Z women were really left behind by Gen X mothers. I had a bone to pick with them.
With Gen X mothers?
Oh, yeah, they're like the Kraft mac and cheese generation. They suck. They did not set their daughters up well.
What?
Yeah, that's true. That's hella true. I mean, like, when you look at it, when you look at millennials, when you look at like Gen Z, their mothers, like, shit, man, their mothers did them in. Like, I hate to say it. I really hate to say this because it's going to sound like I'm pushing something, and I'm not pushing it. But if you were raised by a single mother, you kind of, in a way, have to distance yourself from her. I'm not saying cut her off, but I'm just saying, like, make your dealings with her like cordial, respectful, but in a way you kind of have to like look at it as she probably didn't give me sound advice. She probably like she really didn't do me any good. So I'm probably better off, maybe finding my own way. As long as you're sincere with, if you're sincere with God, He's going to show you the way.
Go deeper on that. How do you mean?
Well, you can just tell. So it started with the baby boomer generation, and then I want to say the Gen X, but then baby boomers were rebellious against the silent generation. They thought they were old-fashioned. They thought they were, too set in their ways with
That's the
traditional
Woodstock
roles.
generation, the baby boomers, exactly.
Yeah. And so you get like these Gen X mothers. They are so narcissistic, and they think that you, the daughter, you're just gonna find a man. I lived in my house with my mother for 19 years, and not.
Okay, so the thing is about it is that when the new generation came, they abandoned what their parents already set out. Their parents set out, had rules, boundaries, and things like that were already in order, right? But because of feminism, because of sexual liberation, they abandoned that. And so this is why we have the mess we have now.
Once did the conversation come up, what is a good wife? What is a good husband? How do you find one? And I started asking my other girlfriends when I had like an epiphany. I think I was 25. I started asking them, like, did your mother ever talk to you about this? And most of them are telling me no, that it wasn't a conversation. So that's kind of how I've been able to figure out that, like, yeah, Gen X mothers, y'all did us dirty for sure.
Now, a word that is popping into my head is the concept of fear.
Yes.
Like, you're fearful that because you said that you were a stay-at-home girlfriend or whatever.
No, I never said that. No.
You said you said you were a girlfriend, didn't do anything. That's exactly what you said.
I never said that.
What did you say?
You see how, listen, people. When you're dealing with a modern Western woman, she's like, I hate to say, she's like a shaitan. She's an agent of confusion. Okay, she doesn't even recognize what she says. Okay? So with that, it's like, yo, it's just like, man, oh man, just leave him alone.
No, I said at some point in my life I was dating somebody and I was his girlfriend.
Right.
But I still worked.
Okay, well, I thought your job was to be your girlfriend. Apologies.
No.
But part of what I'm understanding, you tell me if I'm crazy here, if I'm spot on, is the fear that if you don't have a career, the fear of, well, my man could leave me, or I don't have a fallback plan. And it seems like, and rightfully so, you're fearful of that, so you want to have your own career. Whereas Allie is like, yeah, I get it, that is a fear, but I'm not going to let that get in the way of me being a good wife. And
with men, like, we're usually the voice of reason and voice of logic. So he's like just breaking it down and making everything make sense, which we usually do a lot of the time.
Being kind of more submissive. Do I have that right, or am I going crazy?
I'm not building my career because I'm scared that my boyfriend's going to leave me.
Okay, so why are you building your career?
Because I want to be successful and I want to pursue my dreams. And my dream is to be a media person.
So let me ask.
Well, I mean, I don't know how old she is, but she looks like to be in her 30s. That ship has sailed for you, woman. You're probably wall written. It looks like you've had plastic surgery done, so that ship has long sailed. And what are you willing to do to become this media conglomerate? It comes with conditions. Are you going to be posing all sexy like Brittany Renner on a cover of her book for attention? What are you going to do?
So I'll get back to that. Now, is fear, did I use this word correctly? Do you think women have this fear?
Yeah, but it's a made-up fear. It's a boogeyman fear. Family courts are going to favor women like astronomically. And then I've had women come out and they're like, well, I got divorced and I didn't get anything. My first question is, who filed? So you're mad that you decided to leave him and then you couldn't get his money? Like, I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you. If it was if those resources were that important to you, you could have worked it out. And that's not to speak.
So she has a point here. Some women do get married just to get the resources. Some women, that's their intention, and that's why you have to vet them. That's why, like, with a woman, like, for me personally, she has to buy me something first for me to even, like, have a look at her. Like, for example, like in the Muslim context, like, if her family, like, for example, maybe buys me a book or something like that, or buys something, just something tangible, then I am more or less gonna, entertain it. But if she doesn't buy me anything, then my guard's up.
on relationships where there's DV involved. Okay, like everybody knows that's wrong. Like, again, a boogeyman concept, but
What did you say? DV?
domestic violence.
Oh, gotcha.
Right, I'm trying to algorithm.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing. Okay, DV.
Well, and
yeah.
you can always just get a job after you get divorced. Like, it's
Right?
not like you're banned from working just because you're a little bit older. Like, I built this YouTube channel. Like, I started a show 3 months ago, and I got 30,000 subscribers this month. Like,
Boom. And how'd that happen?
But you work hard, and I could do that at 45 too. So I don't know why.
The thing is, Pearl, here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell you this from a guy's perspective. Women get, it's no mistake why women's have periods. Okay, they need breaks. So when women go into the career world, they're overwhelmed most of the time. And I hate to say this, I really hate to say this, but women have attitudes, especially in the in services, in like service in the service industries. I noticed that they have attitudes, bro. Because they're working so much, and it's like, yo, like, man, when am I gonna get a break? I noticed in the service industry they have like some worse attitudes. But let's continue.
Like, if you get divorced, you can still get a job.
Let me pose a question to you, ladies. Let's say you don't get married. Let's just say, and you're 40 years old, and you've got an amazing career, but you never got married. Would that?
Okay, I've been going on for an hour. I'll do part 2 in a minute since one of my co-hosts to the clubhouse room called. But you get the picture. The information war is just beginning, and I'm gonna be and inshallah, Siala Jabi, I will win the information war. But anyhow, leave your thoughts. Fula signing out. Njara.